What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Monday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt. To follow me on Twitter. This podcast being brought to you by BetMGM. You guys can go to BetMGM with the promo code JUICE. It's a $1,000 first bet offer that's available right now for new users with the promo code JUICE at BetMGM. Okay, so kind of a weird day. So obviously, look, I'm wearing the Bruins hat because I'm a Bruins fan. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to own it. I'm going to support my team. They got beat. Congrats to Florida. The better team won that series. There really is no other way of describing that. It didn't matter who was in net. The Bruins had every chance to win that series. Brad Marchand in Game 5, breakaway, had a chance to ice it. Couldn't do it. Missed it. Bruins lost in overtime. Bruins lost 3 games at home, and the Bruins had a 3-2 lead with 45 seconds left to go. And for whatever reason, the Bruins and the Golden Knights do this too, and I can't figure out why these two teams, maybe it's the Bruce Cassidy effect, I don't know. But why are they not shooting the puck at the open net? They're playing defense. They're more concerned about playing defense, about playing in the shell, than they are playing offense. Now, I get it. Odd man rushes. They don't want to get caught and be out of position. But you have a chance to end the game. And both the Golden Knights and the Bruins both play the same way with the open net. They act like it's not there. And then it's 6-on-5. The Bruins weren't trying to shoot the puck down the ice to get a goal. I mean, I don't know. It didn't make a lick of sense to me as to how that third period went. But, you know, the Bruins, Swayman got caught. Game gets tied. Huge win for Florida. 3-3 goes to overtime. Game goes over. It's a bet we got right yesterday. We went 1-3. More on that in a second. But we end up getting, you know, the Panthers get the game-winning goal and win it 4-3. The Bruins lost every game. They went 1-3 when there were more than 6 goals scored in the game. I said it on this show. I said it on BVB. Bruins just lost their way. They just stopped playing Boston Bruins hockey. How many times did we bet the Bruins at home under this year? They were just a under machine at home. And yet their games were flying over consistently in this series. Bobrovsky gave up a ton of goals, but the Bruins couldn't play defense. Too many turnovers, too many sloppy plays, and not enough, you know. Swayman wasn't the problem, by the way. I was all in for Swayman playing in Game 7. He wasn't the problem. That's not why they lost the game. They lost the game because they were sloppy with the puck. They ran out of gas, and Florida outplayed them in every single aspect of, you know, energy, focus, making the right read. Give credit where credit's due. Florida won. But I'm not going to hide it. You know, I had a bet on Florida to win the game yesterday. I doubled down again, hit it before overtime at plus 135. So the Bruins losing did not really hurt me financially all that much because I came in with 2 bets, plus 200 and plus 135, to make up for the parlay I had with the Bruins and the Knights to advance in their series. 2 weeks ago, when we made the bet for the Bruins to win Game 1 and win the series, that lost. So that will affect last week's numbers. So we got to go and see how that impacts last week's numbers. But this week, we were up a little because we went into the day up 3.1 units. We lost 2.45. Knicks game, I mean, my goodness. It was right there. Game falls 209. We played under 207.5. The game closed at 210. So you bet the closing number at 210, you won. You pushed on 209, but if you bet under 208.5 down to 207.5 where I was, bummer loss there. That kind of stunk. And then the hedge I bet the Kings at minus 1.5, but that's because I've got the plus 350 on the Warriors to win the West. Warriors will play the Lakers now. Great series. Really looking forward to that series. I still think the Warriors are going to win that series, but man, we get LeBron versus Steph in a semifinal, not even a Western Conference final. Whoo, baby. That's going to be wild to see. But we move on to the Celtics and the Sixers coming up here tonight. Awesome hockey season. I had a ton of fun betting and watching the Bruins. Let's see where we go. I'm going to bet the exactas once we have all the matchups. We need New Jersey and the Rangers. Once that's done, tonight's Game 7. Once that's done, then we can bet the exactas. I'll just tell you guys what I'm doing in the Discord channel. I'm not going to make it official because there'll be so many different bets I'm going to make for the exactas. But, I mean, the Kraken are live. The Panthers are live. I think the Hurricanes are live to make the cup and win the cup. Everyone's going to talk about Toronto. Everyone's going to talk about, I mean, look, Boston, Colorado, and Tampa are all out in the first round. That is something. And the Rangers could be out too. I mean, talking about brand names in the NHL being out, we could have a very funky cup winner this year, and it could be great from a long odds perspective to jump in. So looking at some of those teams that no one's really talking about all that much with a chance to win the cup, the Kraken are playing well, man. They are an unbelievable team on the road. They won 3 out of the 4 games at Colorado. They're not great at home, but they can play on the road with anybody, and they just knocked out the defending champs. In year 2, I'm getting Vegas Golden Knights vibes out of that Seattle Kraken team for Vegas when they went on their run in their first year. This is the second year for the Kraken. So before we give you the picks for here on this very Monday as we start a new week, let's talk about how you guys can win an upgrade. It's May 1st. So it's a chance for you guys. New month. We'll announce the winner probably tomorrow for who won the upgrade for April. New month, new chance to be eligible to get the free year, the premium upgrade to BettingPros Premium. How do you win? You subscribe to this BettingPros YouTube channel. You like this video and you comment below. Because when you do, you guys could win that free upgrade to BettingPros Premium, whether you're looking for access to exclusive picks, top-rated player props, or custom analysis of your betting performance. BettingPros Premium has tools to help you cash more bets. Don't want to wait for that giveaway. You can sign up today at bettingpros.com/upgrade and start betting smarter, not harder. Okay, I will do NBA player props today. Went 2-0 on Saturday. I didn't want to bet them on Sunday, but we will come back with 2 games in action here in the NBA. I got bets on both of them that we'll tell you about here in just 1 second. But we will do NBA player props. So bettingpros.com/chat is the link to our Discord channel or underneath me on YouTube. So we lost the NBA bet yesterday, so I'm now 17-11 in the NBA, 14-13 on props. So not a bad run here in the NBA recently. So I'll have to see where I am with hockey. I did not do well down the stretch. I've given a bunch back in the NHL, so we're still up. So still going into last night, I was 75-67. That's 53%, up 5.4 units. The NBA, we're now 17-11, up 5 units in the NBA. So the sports where I haven't done all that great, the biggest ones are college basketball ended up down 4.75 units. Not great. Combat sports have not been good. We're down 4.7 units in combat sports. In Major League Baseball, I think my Major League Baseball number is wrong, though. I think that's not updated right. I think we're 8-8, down 0.4 units. So slightly down on that. But hockey's still been very good. NBA's still been very good. That's what we're going to ride with here today. Okay, so we're just betting streaks on this. I have no idea who's going to win New Jersey and the Rangers. Devils and the Rangers. It's a complete coin flip game. Only thing I'm betting on is the thing that we've been betting on every game. It is the first period under. It's a game 7 with 2 teams that have very good goaltenders, and they're going to play very close to the vest. We saw it last night with Colorado and Seattle. I think we're looking at a very similar game, low-scoring game. I lean towards the under 5.5. But I'm going to bet 1.3 units down on the under 1.5 goals in the first period for the Devils and the Rangers. Kind of a simple bet than what we've been making, what we've been playing. I'm going to jump on that. Under 1.5 goals, first period, New Jersey and New York. 1.3 units down on that. The next bet in the NBA is strictly just a feel. No Joel Embiid. So the number is ballooned from 7 to 10. The Boston Celtics are laying 10.5 at BetMGM at the time of taping on this game in game 1. Now, I know what has happened in the playoffs. Either the dog wins, Miami wins outright, Warriors wins outright. Both those teams were dogs yesterday. Or the team that's favored covers easily. But when we get to double-digit lines, I just can't figure this out. I just can't figure this out. The way the Boston Celtics play in the fourth quarter scares the hell out of me. Boston played 4 times this year against the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes, Embiid played in most of them. They were laying 3 in the first game of the year. They won by 9. Embiid did play in that game. They then were laying 2.5 back on the 8th of February. They won by 7. Then they took on the road on the 25th of February. They were laying 1. They won by 3. And then they were on the road again on my birthday on April 4th. They were catching 3.5 points, and they lost by 2. They covered. Boston is 4-0 this year ATS against Philadelphia. So you might go, Matt, why don't you just lay the 10.5 or lay the 10? Because I don't trust this Celtics team. This Celtics team, yes, they won by 13 points both games in game 1 against Atlanta. Okay, I'll give you that. They were 10-point favorites both times in those games. They won by 13 points in both. But Atlanta doesn't have the depth that Philly nor Doc Rivers on the sidelines. There's a lot of bad blood between these two franchises. Boston is 14-7 all time against Philadelphia. They own the Sixers. I think Boston will win this series, but in game 1, I'm not laying 10.5 points. This is asking for like a last-second comeback or Boston just sitting on this and not covering. Remember when Boston was at home laying 13.5 points to Atlanta and they lost by 2 points? That was the last time they were favored by more than 10 points. Now, again, they were 10-point favorites in both home games in game 1, game 2, and they won and they covered both those games. They were 7.5-point favorites against Atlanta in game 4 after losing game 3 outright, and they won by 8. You could say that Philly is punting on this game, and very well I might be wrong. I might get out of this bet, okay? I might turn around and bet something on Boston if we get a live number of like Boston -1, 2, 3, somewhere in that range, and try to middle it. But pregame, I'm taking the 10.5 points, okay? This is kind of like the baseball game yesterday. It had a total of 21.5. It's like you just take the under on principle. In a playoff game, with or without Embiid, Philly and Boston, with how well they know each other, Philly is 4-0-1 against the number over their last 5 games. Boston is 3-2. I know Boston was great against the division, 11-5 ATS against the division, but BetMGM, 10.5 points. I'm taking the points pregame. I may have to do something coming into the game in terms of how we are looking at this from a perspective of in-game betting, but pregame, plus 10.5, Sixers, plus 10.5. Bet number 2 in the NBA. Well, the Suns got whipped by Denver in game 1, and that's going to cause everybody to go, up, here comes Denver, lay the 4.5 points. I'm going to say this. I think this is a major bounce back spot here for the Phoenix Suns. I know Denver at home this year was absolutely tremendous. 38-7 straight up, okay? Just tremendous. Yes, Denver can win this game, but I think Phoenix gets a split here. I think Phoenix is not going to go quietly. I think this is a long series. I think Kevin Durant, I think the defense will be much better. I think they'll try to figure out something after playing one game and realizing that it didn't work. I don't expect guys, to shoot the same way. I don't think Murray shoots the same way. I don't think Gordon shoots the same way as it did in game number 1. Now Jokic may have a much bigger game and a better game. That's very possible. But something just tells me the Suns win the game. I'm not going to take the points. It's only 4.5 points. Either Denver wins and Denver covers, or Phoenix wins the game outright. I'm taking Suns to even the series at 1 game apiece. Plus 155. Phoenix, plus 155 for 1 unit. I'm jumping on the dog here to win game number 2 outright to tie their series at 1 game apiece. All right. New Jersey, New York, under 1.5 goals in the first period at -130. Philly, plus 10.5 at -110, 1.1 units down there. Suns money line at plus 155, one unit down on that. And 2 NBA player props coming up later on today in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it is the Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by BetMGM.